This current table displays the data by quarter for the entire country. But what if I want to review this data by district? I can do that as well by selecting all the districts within Training Land and adding them to this table. Earlier I mentioned that there are different ways to select organization units within DHIS2. Let's go through a couple different methods now to select the districts. If I expand the tree, I can see all the districts available within Training Land. I can select all of these individual districts by holding down Control on my PC or Command on my Mac, and simply clicking all of these districts. That might not be the most intuitive method, especially if you have an organization unit structure where there is a lot of organization units to choose from. We can change the method in which we select our organization units by clicking on this gear icon in the organization unit pane. Let's change to select levels. We discussed the concept of organization unit levels in our introductory discussion. In Training Land, there are 4 levels. One of them is district. If I want to select all the districts within Training Land, I can click on Select Organization Unit Levels and select the district level. With Training Land highlighted, it will select all of the districts within the country. If I only have Food Region highlighted, then it will only select the districts that belong to Food Region. In this example, I want to select all of the districts within the country. So I'm going to select Training Land. If I update this table, we can actually see that nothing really changes. The organization units appear at the top, but that is not ideal. I want these organization units to appear in my table so I can see the number of maternal deaths for each district. In order to have these organization units appear on the pivot table, we have to modify the layout. Let's click on the Layout button and get a better idea of what the table layout looks like. For anyone who's used Microsoft Excel, some of these terms should be familiar. We have the filter, column, and row. This determines where our data is displayed. Right now, the organization units are acting as our filter. Because of this, they are not displayed in the table itself. They are only displayed at the top, indicating that those districts have been selected. We can move this organization unit down in order for it to appear on our table. Let's add the organization units as a row. We can drag and drop the item by selecting Organization Units and dragging it down to the row. You can see that there's a green line with arrows on each side to indicate that this is being done successfully. Once I let go of my mouse, the organization unit dimension will appear in the row. Let's also move the period over so we can also clear the table a little bit more. I'm going to perform the same task as I did before by dragging period from the row to the column. See, the green line still appears. Now I'm going to go ahead and update my table. We can see that when I update the table, we now have the number of maternal deaths separated by district. We can see that in this example, there are only maternal deaths in bird district, dog district, and fish district. We might not want to display the organization units that don't have any deaths. We can remove these from the options selection in the pivot table. Let's click on the options again. Here we have an option to hide the empty rows. There are a number of empty rows in this particular table. That is a result of these organization units not having any maternal deaths within the period that we have specified. If I select Hide Empty Rows and then click on Update, You can see it will hide those districts in which there are no maternal deaths.